Hi there, come on in. It is Thursday night, June 23rd, 2005. This show is number 12 as we count down to our last Practical Sportsman program on September 8th. For those of you who like uninterrupted outdoor programming, sit back and enjoy this final tribute to an insect, the Helgramite. It's our 12th show from the end, and I hope it doesn't bug you like it did me. Stay tuned.
From the rugged shores and woodlands of the north, it's history of copper mines and iron ore, the Great Lakes fishery. To the farmlands of the southern counties we'll look around, my friend, at all that waits the sportsman in the state of Michigan. And sometimes when the moon brings out the diamonds in the snow, and the stillness of the forest lies encased in Arctic cold, the wind might whisper through the trees, listen if you can. It tells you of their beauty in the state of Michigan.
The fishing adventure you're about to see started after dinner, June 24th, on a river somewhere in the Grand Rapids area. My guides were Pat Witherall and Dave Koster, who had conspired to see if they couldn't get me bitten by one of the critters that we were going to use for bait. These critters are called Helgramites. I had never picked one up before, but I could see that I wanted to avoid what looked like huge pinchers on their heads. Now you have a couple Helgramites in here?
Yeah.
Take a look at these.
Go ahead and grab one out for us.
Grab one out?
Grab them by the tail.
By the tail, sure.
By the tail.
I'm sure that's not the...
Get this one right here.
Not that one right there. No, I'm going to get this one. You know, I don't like getting these things. I'd rather do leeches, I think, than these.
There you go.
No, I've not had a lot of experience with these, but I see the pinchers on them. I see the pinchers on them.
Did you feel the pinchers?
No, I didn't feel the pinchers, but... God dang! Whoa! Now hold it!
That's what we were looking for, Fred. You always want to grab them by the head.
Huh? No kidding. That bugger drew blood.
You always want to grab them by the head.
I was close to the head. For crying out loud. I thought I had him like you had him. Jeez, oh, Pete, look at that.
Get him right here behind his head.
You know,
so he can't get you.
I gotta tell you, this fishing experience has lost some luster. That baby nailed me.
Told you we'd get him, Matt.
Hold it, don't put that back yet. Look at those pinchers. Well, you told me that it nipped you when you were...
all over me, friend.
I know it, for crying out loud.
Band-Aid?
These are Helgramites, and I know why they're named that. And I'd like to stack a few other names up next to them as well. Good grief. Can't quite get over this.
I had one get me in the thumb one time. A really big one all the way from here to here, and he closed right up. Ripped it right open all the way across the top of my thumb.
Oh, no, this is, you know, leeches. I have leeches all day long now. I will love leeches from now on. That baby hurt.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Now, these will turn into what's called a Dobson Fly.
Yeah.
I don't like Dobson Flies either anymore.
Fly around and look just like that, only with the wings.
But they don't have the pinchers, though.
Yeah.
The Dobson Flies?
They look just like this with about
the exact same thing.
5-inch wingspan.
You rotten
big old
son of a gun, you.
Did you bring a Band-Aid for him?
No, I don't need a Band-Aid, but, you know, when you say grab them by the head, we're talking by the head, not behind the head.
You grab them too far back, and they spin right around and get you.
Holy
I told Matt earlier we were going to see if we couldn't get you bit once real quick.
Wow.
I didn't exactly want you to get blood drawn out of there. Just get a little nip, you know.
Wow, that hurts. Okay, now we were talking about these doggone Helgramites that are underneath the rocks.
Yep.
So how do we get these things? How do you get these things?
Well, you just go down there and put a net down and stand on that and reach up ahead of you and flip rocks. And the current just takes them
into
they're underneath the rock, so they just, when you flip the rock, the current blows them off the rock into your net.
And then you take them, grab them by the tail.
Yep, grab them by the tail.
And put them in your bucket.
Throw them in a bucket.
Oh, man.
Pick it up. Now, see if we got anything.
Crayfish. Wow. Look at the crayfish.
Nice
now,
one here.
now the smallmouth though, Hey, yeah, look get these in the light here a little bit. Boy, well, this is what the smallmouth are feeding on, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, and you got a Hellgrammite there.
They want them Helgramites more than they want them
They
crayfish.
do. Now the crayfish, I have picked up crayfish before, doggone it. And
I'll get this Helgramite for you.
see the crayfish, now this doesn't bother me, I've done this before. But that Helgramite caught me by surprise. I still have blood around my thumbnail from him.
So many Helgramites, but a lot of crayfish.
A lot of crayfish, but you don't use these for bait.
No, we don't never.
But these crayfish, man, there must be a dozen or more of them that came right out of this one little teeny 5-foot square spot that we were shaking up. Oh, they must be loaded in this river. We could see crayfish everywhere we looked around the rocks. Crayfish are a favorite food of smallmouth bass, but apparently not the favorite. The Helgramites are particularly good bait for smallmouth, is that it?
Excellent.
Best thing I ever saw.
When we get out there, you'll see the action you're going to get.
I got enough action already. Whoa. So the technique is we have our rods here with a, what is this, number 4 hook, a bait holder?
Yeah.
Hook. The bait holder hook has the little, those little barbs on the shaft that I hope dig right into those Helgramites.
Oh, they will.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. And well, we'll find out how to hook the Helgramite, but you're not gonna talk me through it. You're gonna do it for me. I don't care. This macho stuff is gone right now, I'll tell you.
You sure got a red finger. Though.
Yes, I do. It's blood all around my... Anyway. The way Pat Witherall hooks a Helgramite looks easy. There's a collar, sort of a shell behind the head. The hook slips under this collar, and the Helgramite can move around like a dog on a leash, or like a Rottweiler on a leash. That's it?
That's it.
Man, he can still bite you right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Huh. Well, okay, this is where I like him. Right like that, right on the hook. Oh, this water feels great, great, great. On a hot summer day. It was at 90 over here, wasn't it? Yeah, it did. At the end of June, we had 90-degree days in Michigan, so shorts and t-shirts were the only practical things to wear. The river was shallow with a firm gravel bottom. Now, tennis shoes protected our feet, but keep in mind that our legs were bare as we waded out to the edge of the deeper channel, which really wasn't all that deep. I couldn't imagine that anything could bite us other than the Helgramites and crawdads. I mean, the mosquitoes weren't even bothering us.
Yummy.
Obviously, the smallmouth bass were gobbling down the Helgramites, just like Pat and Dave told me they would. This stretch of river produces some big smallmouth at the right time of year, but even the 12 and 14 inchers are a lot of fun to catch.
Yeah, he's not too big. He got my Helgramite too, Fred.
He did. Well, just grab another one by the tail.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the bass leave the Helgramite on the hook, and you can use it again. Sometimes they manage to swallow it. I could see the Helgramite's antenna in the throat of this one. Oh, you took my Helgramite. I'm not happy with you. Oh, the Helgramite is down in its throat. Yep, I can see tentacles or something. Can you see down there, Matt? Can you see a pair of tentacles? I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. Reach down there and get it back, Fred. Don't let him.
Yeah, reach down there and get that Helgramite back. No, I'm going to let him.
Facing this way. Just let him slant.
Yeah, I know it's facing this way. Just let this little guy go. And I go back to Mr. Witherall, sir. Grab one of these snakes by the head. I don't know why we just don't fish with rattlesnakes. I mean, let's get right on to it.
Need another Helgramite, Fred?
Yes, I do, Mr. Witherall, sir.
You gonna put it on yourself, or do I gotta do like I gotta do with Dave all the time?
Mr. Witherall, sir, I want to ask you to do me a favor. Look at that. Look at how you're grabbing that. That's how I grab it.
Yeah, he could get me. Better get up
Well,
farther.
I wish he would.
And this is what I gotta do with. I gotta do this with Dave and with my little 2-year-old. Yeah, do it with you too.
And I don't feel bad.
That's the other problem with them. Is when you hook them, they spit that ink out.
Oh, yeah?
You don't want to get that stuff on you.
Oh, I probably have that in my thumb.
Sent a bunch of ink out right past me.
I developed a tremendous respect for Helgramites as a bite and as a bait.
I just say it's bigger than anything you got.
Oh, this one for the net, huh?
Dave Coster caught the biggest smallmouth bass of the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Pat and Dave liked to fish this spot for fun, so none of us wanted to keep this fish, even though it was legal size. We'll catch him again.
About 14 and a half, 15 inches if somebody wants them.
The bass loved the Helgramites. Our action was constant. They must like the taste, because the Helgramites didn't have to be alive.
This Helgramite has expired, which doesn't bother me at all. And I don't think it'll bother the fish, but I'll find out here. Oh, in just a second. Cast right up there. In fact, I saw one hitting the surface. Now check this out, Matty. I tighten up the line. You can see how the line bows into the water. If that starts moving,
Like that?
like that. Can't tell if it's moving or if it's on a rock. It's on a rock. No, it's a fish. It was, look at that. Yeah, that fish just was holding steady.
I don't care to handle Helgramites, but I've got to admit, they are a great bait.
Wild and crazy action. Now you see, that was on a dead Helgramite. Which leads me to believe that dead Helgramites are a lot better than live Helgramites.
Oh, man.
A lot less hazardous. What? You lost your Helgramite again? See, I've caught 4. Whoa! That was just a fish he had on his line. It just gave me a little start.
Yeah, he just flung my Helgramite.
I mean, already I've been bitten.
Gotta admit, though, that'll be interesting viewing.
Yes.
People love that kind of stuff when you get bitten and bleeding.
Yeah, bitten and bleeding. That was the. There was no doubt.
I get a real kick out of watching a show like that. Did you feel the pinchers?
No, I didn't feel the pinchers, but. God dang! Whoa! Now hold it!
That's what we were looking for, Fred. You always want to grab him by the head.
Huh? No kidding. That bugger drew blood.
You always want to grab him by the head.
I was close to the head. For crying out loud.
There's a little critter with a mean mouth. Never dawned on me that lurking in this shallow water were bigger critters with even meaner mouths, snapping turtles.
Turtle's going after me, man. Holy cow.
Is there?
Is there?
Little turtle here.
Yeah.
He's attacking.
Yeah,
He's got
there
him,
is.
man.
What is that? That's a snapper.
Big snapper.
That's a snapper.
Attacking my fish, Dave. Look at that.
Oh, this is incredible.
He's going back and forth after it. Look at that.
Where is he?
It's right behind the fish.
Look at that.
Look at that snap. Oh,
He's after him, boy.
oh, this is so comforting.
Here he comes, Fred.
Look at this. Look at this.
You can see
See if you can bring him back. Holy cow. Don't get that fish around me. That was incredible.
You wanted my fish.
Wow.
Man.
That's a nice bass, too. Holy cow.
Chased that thing back and forth all through
Oh,
here,
yeah.
Dave, trying to get him.
Boy, his neck was stuck out when he was coming right up here.
Yeah, the first time I seen him, he made a couple of grabs at him.
Whoa. And here we are, standing bare-legged.
See ya, bud.
52-year-old man looks like Jiminy Cricket out here with his little white legs. Jeez. What was that? Oh.
She's nervous every
Yeah,
time.
now I did. Yeah, the splashing here is.
Snapper trying to get my fish.
Well, that's all Matt needed to hear. He grabbed a stick, touched me when I wasn't looking.
Oh, you son of a. Jeez. Oh, that's real funny, Matt. Real funny. I could be having the big one, Elizabeth.
I thought it was funny,
Holy
man.
cow. Well, I'm sitting here thinking, maybe this is a snapping turtle on the end of this.
Thank you, got you.
Thank you. You know, when I first stepped into this river, I thought of, you know, the river runs through it and movies like that. After the snapping turtle and the Helgramite, I'm thinking nothing but Deliverance. Whoa! And now there's a, I don't know if it's a fish, I don't know whether it's Godzilla or what the heck it is. Oh. See, I'm afraid those little old man Jiminy Cricket legs, that white meat there looks like veal to those snapping turtles. They'll come right over to it. Just pick that right off the bone. They say that leg hadn't had all that much exercise in the past few years. That's gonna be good meat. Oh, man, this is getting spookier by the minute.
Helgramites, crawdads, snapping turtles, and me.
I'm not gonna be out here past dark, guaranteed.
I made a lot of jokes about things that could bite as we waded bare-legged in this river, but little did I know that in a few moments the snapping turtle would be back, more aggressive than ever.
Look at that turtle's back.
Is it?
Is it?
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's right here. Look at him. Yeah,
Oh, yes, he is.
he's got him. Oh,
He's got the fish?
He's got him.
He's got it. Look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. If you can bring that up here, I'll grab the turtle by the tail. I don't mind doing that.
There he is, grab him.
I got the turtle by the tail. Huh?
You leave my fish alone.
Okay, I tell you what, I may have gotten nailed by a Helgramite, but don't call me a sissy.
Oh, does he stink?
What, the turtle?
Turtle.
No, that's me. Just kidding, just kidding. No, that turtle does stink. Isn't that something?
Hold him right there, Freddie.
I wish we could get something for him to snap onto, because he'd snap right now. If you don't think this is a snapper.
He's probably mad.
You know, that's a, oh yes. Ooh.
You leave my fish alone.
Ooh. How about that? Let's see if we can get him up here by the reel. Huh?
Stick your finger up there, Fred.
Now, it's not turtle season right now.
I don't know.
Boy, this thing does stink. But that's just from the moss on it. What do you think, Matt? Huh? I thought that was something else. Now, we really teed this turtle off.
Pitch him over there by Dave.
I think we got
Throw him over by Dave.
Oh, you want me to throw him over by Dave?
Yeah. That'll work.
Dave was laughing when the Helgramite bit me. Weren't you, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Well, here, let's see what the turtle will do. Now, we don't have to scatter from here. You rolling, Matt?
I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm going to send him down here between all of us.
I'm not worried about it. He's going to go downstream.
Huh? Oh, there he is. He's going for Matt.
Well, don't put him
Don't put him by you, huh? Oh, this
Wait,
is...
he wants to go my way, dude.
I know it. He'll go right between your legs.
I don't want him to
worry
go
about
between
it.
my legs.
Huh? Well, where do you want him to go? That way?
Towards Dave. I got
Towards Dave?
this camera. I don't want to drop in here.
Yeah, look at that. You know, remember Nelson Hurst was talking about feeling the turtle under the bank?
I would just pitch him.
Okay, but just a second. Feeling the turtle under the bank. See how the shell there is serrated? What the heck? Oh, that's just my fishing line. Everything's scaring me right now. Huh?
You still got your fish on?
Oh, I still got a fish on. Holy cow. Well, this is nuts. Well, anyway, I think we've had enough fun with the turtle. Here, Matt, I'll just let him go and... Huh? There he goes.
He's coming at you.
He's coming in. He's going for the deep water. Oh, man. Oh, hold it. Oh, my fish is still on. There we go. And we have the fish. Boy, that was some adventure. And you think catching a little bass like this is not an adventure. Whew. That was a rush.
On this day in June, the smallmouth bass were biting the Helgramites. The Helgramites may have not liked being bitten by the bass, but I didn't care to be bitten by Helgramites either. I would never grab a Helgramite by the tail, but grabbing a snapping turtle by the tail is no problem. Life in the food chain can be dangerous if you don't know which end is which.
Those were good times that John Ford and I had with prankster Pat Witherall. The Hellgramite is a bug that not many people can pronounce correctly, let alone spell. So let's give this bug its time in the limelight. Here's the last story you'll probably ever see on this critter on television. Thumbs up to you, Hellgramite.
Last week, I showed you a trip we took last summer with Pat Witherall and Dave Koster of Grand Rapids. We were fishing for smallmouth bass on a river that's in the Grand Rapids area. Now, I don't want to pinpoint it because you can find fishing holes like this all over the state. They're small, they're special to the people who fish them. And if you want to find places like this, get a map book and look around. That's how fishermen find their special spots. Now, the smallmouth bass were biting on this evening in June, but the bite of a smallmouth isn't anything that can hurt you. What we were using for bait, though, is a different story. Our bait did bite. According to many bass fishermen, one of the best baits you can use for smallmouth bass is a Hellgrammite. Now, a Hellgrammite is the larva of a winged insect called the Dobson Fly. This larva lives on the bottom of rocky streams. Fishermen gather Hellgrammites by rolling over rocks and letting the Hellgrammites drift into a net. Helgramites are about 3 inches long, and they are ugly. There's no doubt about that. Now, this drawing of a Hellgrammite is from the book Fly Fishing for Dummies. The dangerous part of a Hellgrammite is its mouth. It looks like big pinchers, but they're used to bite and chew its food. Now, here's a photo of a Dobson fly that we got off the internet. Now, the fly also has the big chewing mouth. The mouth of the male Dobson fly can grow quite elongated. Now, that mouth probably can't hurt you, but the Hellgrammite, the larva, has a chewing mouth that can chew a hole in your thumb. That's what a Hellgrammite did to me. God dang! Oh, you bet that hurt. I've never had a bug bite me and draw so much blood. Pat Witherall says that you pick up a Hellgrammite from behind and you have to grab its head, otherwise it can bend around and bite you. Once you've got the Hellgrammite by the head, take your fish hook and slip it under the collar that's just behind its head. It'll slip under there easily. That keeps the Hellgrammite alive and the hook is exposed so you can hook a bass that picks up the Hellgrammite for a meal. Now, they stay on your hook really well, and I often caught 3 or 4 bass on one Hellgrammite. Fish the Hellgrammite right on the bottom. You can use a small split-shot sinker pinched on the line up a foot or so for a little weight, but just let the Hellgrammite roll over the bottom in the current. Now, Hellgrammites will try to grab rocks and branches in the stream. That might feel like a fish is nibbling when it's just a Hellgrammite trying to hang on to something. The point of the hook, though, is facing up, and it doesn't get snagged as often as you might think.
It's either a fish or a stick. It's a stick. I caught a stick. The good news is I still have the Hellgrammite. So the Hellgrammite grabs a stick, huh? Fellows.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, look at that. See how they can grab? See, so that's what it'll do on the bottom. It'll grab hold of something like that and get you snagged. See, it's pulling against the hook. It's got those pinchers there. So, yeah, he's hanging right under that stick. I mean, I'm pulling. Isn't that something? They are just the darndest things. Cute little buggers, aren't they?
I think they're only cute to mother Helgramites. I haven't found any person who thinks they're attractive, but smallmouth bass do. And when I was just goofing around in the shallow water, I found that crayfish find them attractive too.
He's got the Helgramite. He's pulling on it. Look at that. That's sometimes, you know, when you think you have a fish on, you got a crawdad there grabbing it, like that's doing right there. It wants it bad. It knows it's there. Wants it in the worst way. There he comes. So some way that crawdad must eat the bait. I mean, it's got to have a mouth and it's got to eat. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? The things you see in the stream. So we're standing here with bare legs. I don't know why.
That's the Hellgrammite. Even though it's ugly, smallmouth bass love it. But always remember, the Hellgrammite has a heck of a bite. For information on this program and my future, assuming I have one, we have 11 more Practical Sportsman programs to go. People have asked about Zachary, and if he's finishing the Fish and Game Halls of Fame, the answer is yes. The week after next, he'll be back to finish the series over the following 7 weeks. One reason this show is ending is a significant decline in the number of fishermen over the past 15 years. But next week, we're going to show you one little guy who kept the passion, Willis Pratt. And something else that has come to an end is the tradition of smelt dipping. In 1992, we had the dip of all dips, a legendary video story appearing for the last time next week. See you then.